What are we getting out of this?
You look good, babe. You're handsome as heck.
Yeah.
Hottie.
Yeah. Just gonna let it out of there
Get that
now.
out. Yeah. Okay.
Past the fire, past the sounds. Moonshine through the clouds, saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now.
What are we going
Let's
to
just
do
live
this
well
evening?
together.
I think that's
How about
a great
that?
idea in
We'll
our
have,
small little town.
Yeah, have a big life right here in our small little town. Good day and welcome to another exciting episode. I feel like we haven't been here for a minute.
We haven't. We
And
missed
it's-
last week because we did 2 in a row, which we're going to do tonight too.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they don't know. It's the
Well, they do
magic
know.
of broadcasting.
I know,
Yeah,
but
they think we
sometimes-
just,
Show up
yada, yada,
every
yada.
week at
Yeah, they don't know we do
Thursday at
8
8
in a
a.m.
row and plug them in when we want to.
I know, but I think it's oh yeah, at 10 now. Yeah, we're dropping them at 10 o'clock on Thursdays now.
Oh, yes.
But I
yes.
think it's
for the
okay to
lazy
let
sleep-in crew.
People, that would be me.
Yeah,
I said to
100%.
Grandma, I'm like, hey, can we push this back to 10? But no, I think it's okay for people to know the kind of the behind the scenes of it. Podcasting is pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you told me. It's good to know.
Some weeks I do feel like I need to talk you into
Yeah.
the idea that it's a
Like
really
a little
great
shock
idea.
collar. Yeah.
Graham, what episode is this? 111. Oh, that's
So
kind of a
2
fun
years,
one.
though.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Spit bubbles.
Lip smacking good.
Yeah, 2 years this weekend. Graham had it set up to our very first episodes came out on my birthday last year. Or no, 2 years ago.
So consequently, we just celebrated another of those
We did.
just
yes.
the other day.
Yeah.
What'd we do? Did we do anything spatial?
Actually, it was a really special day. It fell on a Sunday this year, and it was really nice because we got to spend the morning with our kids. I got to see Graham. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see Graham. He was feeling a little under the weather, but he popped by for a little visit.
But we had pastries
But we
and
had pastries from Val's
grandkids
Bakery.
and kids. Kate and Jake didn't make it,
They were in Cancun because Caitlin's birthday is the day after mine.
right? Which was yesterday
Yesterday,
in real world.
in real world
Not in
time.
the broadcast world.
Correct. And so they were down there celebrating her birthday and also their honeymoon.
Yes.
They combined those 2 trips together. So and they had a great time. But yeah, Val's Bakery. If you're in the Dayton area,
We should have Val come up.
oh, it would be so fun.
bring us some
She might
special
bring
treats.
some samples because they do authentic croissants. It takes them 3 days to.
And there's a
make
line.
these.
We've been there 2 or 3 times. I mean, it's not like we go all the time.
No,
But
because
each time we've been
wow.
there is a line out the door on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
downtown Dayton. I don't
Yeah.
remember which street. I want to say
St.
St. Clair. Yeah. And the other day I went down to pick them up for your birthing day.
Yeah.
And it was raining. So I thought, this will be cool. I can just breeze right in, breeze right out. Certainly people won't be standing in the rain. And they were. Yeah.
Well, we did learn a little trick, though, that you can pre-order.
Yeah. If you call
the
ahead,
day
you don't have to
before.
wait the
It's
big
24
line.
hours in advance, then you can skip the line and go to
So
pickup.
raise your hand if you love Val's Bakery or, comment,
Actually,
like,
or
share,
if you've
whatever.
been, before, because they.
If you
have
haven't
some
been, it's
really-
worth a go. If you like
definitely.
pastry things.
They have a nice little lounge area where you can
Yeah.
sit and visit and drink coffee and matcha
Bookshelf
if you're into
and
that.
all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
sweet
yeah, so
little
that
spot.
was a fun little start to the day. And the kids all came over. The boys walked in with flowers, which is always sweet. And Graham brought in a little ornament and some of their homemade pickles, which are amazing. They're not in any stores right now. So maybe someday you guys start bringing them to farmers markets, Graham, because they would be worth it. They're so good. And then we took my mom. We went over to Columbus and we picked up my mom and we went downtown. We were downtown people.
Which
for the
again,
night.
I thought on a Sunday the Short North area will be like
Quiet.
Death Valley and nobody's moving around. Totally wrong. Again,
It was shocking.
felt
to me.
like Saturday night.
I could not believe how busy the area was. They have something called La Petite Chef,
La Petite
and
Chef.
I'll put the
Le tiny
link to
man,
that.
6 centimeter.
And
He's
they're
French.
Yeah, Yeah, and he shows you on your plate what he's going to be making.
So your dinner table is a screen.
Large,
There's a projector on the ceiling, and they are projecting images on your table.
Yeah.
Your plate is centered in a certain space
Yeah.
that you know need to be in that space. And then you can see this little cartoon man
Yep.
doing all kinds of cool stuff with your
Pulling
food.
potatoes out of the ground,
Yeah.
catching fish.
It's pretty funny.
It's really interesting and fun, and it's like a dining experience, I guess. But the food is delicious.
Yeah.
Like it's not like dinner theater is wonderful too, but this is like a real dining experience.
Right.
Yeah. And we had been on it. We had gone to one when we were on the cruise last year,
Right.
and now they have taken the concept and put it in restaurants across the country. And found out that they have one in Columbus. That's why we grabbed up Mom and we went
Special
down
way
and
to
did
spend your
that.
special day.
Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah. Yeah. Because birthdays can be tricky, especially when you turn 62.
I didn't know if you're going to give him a number or not. So
Yeah,
now
I'm
that
okay.
cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of it. It's just a number.
And I think I look pretty good for 72.
And you do, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really 72, by the way.
Well, but so if you're going to, well, let's just get into this episode and the topic du jour.
Yeah, because I think basically I just wanted to kind of cover some, I don't know, aging myths in a way, or ways to make it less painful.
Okay.
Because it can be for some people. Like you start thinking, oh my gosh, everything you hear when you get to this age, quote unquote, this age is, well, you know, you're getting older and so this is inevitable.
Yes.
And that's just not true most of the time.
No, but the mindset matters.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, when you tell yourself you're getting old, you're probably right.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself time's going by, but you're taking good care,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
You know, so, and your mom is a great example of that. Your
totally
mom,
is, yeah.
she's
She's a dynamo. We won't say her age, but yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
But she's still very vital and still very, you know,
Yeah.
participating in the game.
And
it's wonderful.
still lives on her own, maintains her house and a garden and her automobile, and you know, just it's really amazing. She lives in a wonderful neighborhood. They take care of her too, like for snow removal. She was
Neighbors
talking about that.
kind of make sure the drive and the sidewalks are taken care of.
Yeah.
So, but she's your genetic window to the future.
Correct.
So when you
Yes.
look into the future, another 20 years or so, you can look at that and say, okay, here's my possibilities.
Yes.
If you make different choices, different lifestyle choices,
Yeah.
you will whistle right past whatever she might establish.
Well, and the thing for me is that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like it's mine to mess up,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
based on the choices that I make. And
But the rule there is really fairly simple. The older people in your family, especially grandparents and parents, the oldest person in your family tree is basically your genetic window to the future.
yeah, for sure.
And so when we talk about birthdays and the process and what changes along the way, it's important to understand there's going to be change. But it's also important to understand that because mom has it doesn't mean I'll have it. Or
Right.
because dad had it doesn't mean I'll have it. Because there are genetic things that are at play, but lifestyle choices also are going to make a massive amount of difference in how well time passes for you.
Exactly. Well, and filtering hormones in there, you know, hormones do matter. They actually matter more than ever. And I would highly encourage women in their 30s to start getting some baseline numbers now.
Okay.
So that
How so? Like blood work?
blood work, yeah.
Screenings?
Dutch test. I think actually I'm going to go to a seminar tomorrow about Dutch tests, and I can probably talk more about that. But it's a very comprehensive test for hormones, not just sex hormones, but like adrenal,
All
glands,
hormones,
all
yeah.
the hormones. And it gives you a really beautiful picture into what that looks like. And then, you know, depending on how you're feeling, you know, taking symptoms into consideration over the years, making those adjustments that are necessary.
Part of it's about symptoms, but one of the biggest challenges, and we've talked about this a dozen times already, maybe more, is that symptoms tell you that you need to change something.
Right.
But there's a big difference between managing your health and managing your symptoms. Our system is pretty well engineered to manage symptoms,
Right. Yeah.
not necessarily to manage health.
Yeah.
Like I don't wait for my teeth to hurt before I brush them. I just
Right.
brush them because I've been led to believe it's a smart choice.
Well, and, you know, the hormones do matter, but like when you're living out your life, it's really brain clarity. You know, like how is your brain functioning?
Right. Yes.
The recovery time. If you have an illness, how long does it take you to get back on your feet and be ready to go again.
So recovery time, regardless of whether it's mental and emotional or whether it's structural and physical.
Right, exactly.
You know, if I do yard work and I'm sore the next day, that's to be expected.
Absolutely.
If I'm still the same sore 5 days later, I'm not recovering very well.
Right, exactly.
And so recovery time is a good gauge or a good barometer for how's my body maturing.
Right, exactly. Motivation is a big one too. You know, as we get older, are we motivated when we get up in the morning? Are we like, do we feel alive? Are we happy to be up and at it? You know, or do we just want to get up and sit in front of the TV?
I was going to say, if I've got 42 projects, am I motivated to get them accomplished, or am I motivated to just sit on the couch and think about it with a big snack of some kind, maybe?
Right.
And so somewhere in there is that there's the sweet spot that says, here's when it's appropriate to rest, but rest should be kind of a necessary thing, not a goal.
Exactly. Right. So
I can't wait to get out of bed so I can go to the couch.
So a lot of times we start blaming our hormones, our hormone imbalances, thinking that that's got to be the reason why we're not feeling good, that we have brain fog, that we're recovering slowly, that it's the hormones' fault.
Well, and so part of that, though, to be fair, part of that is about metabolic imbalance or metabolic function.
Yes, inefficiency.
And part of that is, again, should I have the same energy at 75 that I had at 25? Should I have the same blood numbers that I had at 25? So part of that is about realistic expectation.
Yeah, maybe I have unrealistic expectations.
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
But metabolic inefficiency is something that can be addressed at every age.
Correct.
Like when you're 25, there are things that should be running at peak efficiency. And the peak might change when you're 50, 60, 75.
Right.
But the metabolic efficiency should still be measurable in a good way.
Right.
If it isn't, that's when symptoms begin to show up, or energy begins to wane, or brain fog begins to creep in. And then the nerve system says, hey, I'm tired.
Yeah. Right.
Of living on this treadmill
Yes.
of stressful hormone imbalance.
And that's when you become not motivated and just want to watch TV.
Right.
Don't want to get out of the house.
Yeah, if your biggest exercise of the day is like filling the bathtub and pulling the plug and fighting the current, you're probably, there's room to improve.
But there's also, you know, taking into consideration nervous system depletion and also mitochondrial stress. And so when people, because that's a real buzzword right now, is mitochondria. Mitochondrial.
Yes. What is the
stress.
mitochondria?
What is the mitochondria? And why is it important to how we feel? Can you?
Well, for our biology
McCoskey?
students, our biology majors, or the people who remember even high school biology, I'm thinking of, we had a professor at Palmer he was Indian. And
You could talk in his voice. That's okay.
well,
You're
I
good at
could
that.
tell you, he would tell you the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. The powerhouse of the cell.
So it's the energy.
Mitochondria manufacture energy. There's a recipe for energy. By the way, cholesterol is one of the main ingredients.
Right. That's why
Coenzyme
we can't let
Q10,
those
one of
be
the
too
main
low.
ingredients. Ubiquinol is one of the main ingredients.
Yeah.
So when you look at the recipe, like if you were going to make a cake, you'd have 4, 5, 6 ingredients.
This is fascinating to me.
And you would
Okay.
make a cake. You would have to put them in the right ratio. You would have to put them at the right temperature for a given frame of time.
Right.
But there would be a
Baking time.
handful of things. And if you did it just so, at the end of that experience, you would have cake, right?
Or
Well,
with
in this
mitochondria.
case, there's a pathway through the liver that says, here's how mitochondrial function is going to be enhanced. And here's the recipe for energy. So the result will be adenosine triphosphate, ATP.
ATP. We hear about that. That's
Exactly.
the magic letters.
That's produced in mitochondria. When you're looking at textbooks, or even maybe online or whatever people do to learn biology now, when you look at a slide or a diagram, is what I meant to say, of a cell, they will tell you, here's the cell wall, here's the cytoplasm, here's the organelles, here's the things. And they will put mitochondria. They'll usually see 2, maybe 3
Okay.
mitochondria. So they're giving you a diagram that represents here's cellular structure. What they underestimate dramatically in that picture is that every cell in the body has up to 1,200 mitochondria.
But they only put because of that.
For the diagram, they don't put 1,200, they put 2 or 3,
They
but
fill
they
the
label
whole
it and say,
thing,
here's what a mitochondria looks like.
1,200 per cell.
Per cell. Yeah. So it's an amazing piece of technology. But if you deplete, for any reason, the mitochondrial function of a cell, you're slowly killing the cell. And you're slowly watching energy be less productive, less effective. And so anything that stimulates, if you just Google it, and maybe you would, if you're Googling or searching.
Well, I
but
just
if you-
wanted to see how many cells are in the body.
Oh, trillions.
30 to 37 trillion cells on average,
Right.
times 1,200 mitochondria.
All right.
Crazy.
That's a lot of mitochondria.
Yeah. Yeah.
an
So what were you
amazing
going to
piece
have?
of creation.
Google what?
Well, if you just Googled mitochondrial function and energy,
Oh,
or if you
okay.
Googled frequency and mitochondrial function, one of the things we use in the practice to stimulate mitochondrial function is light frequency, laser light
yeah.
Frequency.
Right.
So you can, bathe cells in a certain frequency of light to activate mitochondrial activity.
Which also creates a healing response. So it's not just energy that makes us.
The cells are
function.
engineered to heal, and they're engineered to do the right things. But if they're depleted, either nutritionally depleted, oxygenically depleted, neurologically depleted, or toxic, so they could be depleted, they could be insufficient, or they could be too sufficient or overly sufficient, which would be considered toxicity. Again, they begin to collapse. They begin to just wear out or break down. So, finding that sweet spot. But again, there's measurable change that takes place, whether you're 75 or whether you're 5
Right.
in frequency and energy production for mitochondria. So kind of a cool thing.
Yeah,
There's your
that's a
little
really
bio
cool thing.
nugget for the day.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, energy versus estrogen. 10 years ago, the conversation was fix the hormones. And people were struggling with that because it didn't come down to just hormones. There were
Well, that's because
layers.
synthetic hormones was the solution back then.
Correct.
And now you'll hear something, what do they call them? Bioidentical hormone.
bioidentical.
So, but are those natural products or are those somehow synthesized
They're
elsewhere?
bioidentical. They're usually from plants, but they can be synthetic, but they're still.
Closer to home, closer to the real McCoy.
It's not Premarin. Premarin was pregnant mare's urine.
Right.
And that was a big problem back then. And
Right.
but the study that was done way back then was poorly done. They took people that were already very, very sick.
You can make science say whatever you
Say
want.
whatever
science
you
to
want,
say, and
yeah.
they sold a truckload of stuff in that model.
Yeah. And I feel
But they also now know that hormones are not energy producers. Hormones are messengers.
correct.
Hormones carry information
Signalers.
through the nerve system by way of the nerve system. In other words, it would be hard to have perfect hormone balance with less than perfect neurological function.
Right.
Because organs and glands only do what the brain says. If the brain gives them too much information, if the signals are overloaded, hormone production will be out of balance to the loud.
Yeah.
If the brain is telling those organs or glands to do too little, or if they're fatigued, then the hormone production goes the other way, too low.
Yeah.
But it's the sweet spot you got to find that gets energy back toward its more normal thing, because the hormones just carry messages to and from the brain
Right.
and to and from other parts of the body.
So one of the other things that people are starting to see and realize is that hormones are important, but metabolic function is even more important because it's going to help the hormones do their job.
Of course.
In the signaling department. So like when I went through my metabolic restoration, my hormones adjusted positively after losing 30 pounds. So, my thing was I needed to balance my hormones to feel better and do better in my life, lose weight. And what I found was that by losing the weight, it actually restored my metabolic function and my hormones became balanced.
You've been
So
more alive in the
it's-
last 4 years than you have in the last 40,
Yes. Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
Between birthing babies and raising kids
Yeah.
and tolerating my behavior and all that goes with it. I know you were feeling depleted.
Yep.
Your weight was not where you wanted it to
Frustrating.
be. Your energy was not where you wanted. Your immune system was not where you wanted it
Well,
to be.
and the thing, and you know this more than anybody because of working structurally with your patients, but for every pound of weight that you have on, that's 6 pounds of pressure on joints.
Right.
So things were achy to me too. Like
And if
my
we lived on the
body-
moon, nobody would care.
Nobody would
But in a
care.
gravity-based
But-
world, it's a lot.
We all had pressure on your joints, and so your knees hurt more, and your hips hurt more, and your back hurts, and there's all those things to take into consideration. So yeah, it really unlocked this next season of life for me
Right.
in a positive way. Something that
Which by default Makes my life better as well.
Which you're all in for,
It's
aren't you?
contagious. But everybody assumes getting older means falling apart, and it doesn't have to mean
No.
that. But it does mean you got to play by the rules.
Got to play by the rules. And so adding, one of the things that I'm so keen on right now are minerals. In school, I'm finishing a practice minor that is around cell salts and the biomechanics of minerals. And I love everything about it. Cell salts are actually like a homeopathic version of minerals.
Okay.
Homeopathy is more based in plants.
Right.
And so it's still that dilution process that happens with plants, but this is with minerals instead. And there's 12 main ones. They have a 13th one that is kind of like a combination of all 12 of them. They call it bioplasma.
Okay.
And I am totally fascinated by it because I do think that it's so important for us to have minerals because.
So where do we used to get minerals? Why
we used to
do
get
we
it from
need
our
to
soil
supplement
and
them?
from our food. And
We farmed them out. We've polluted them out. So the food we eat today does not have the nutrients that we once had in our food. The foods we're eating today are not what our grandparents ate. We've talked about that on other episodes.
right.
But that's why supporting it with a supplemental way
Yeah. And this is
to
wonderful.
make sure you're getting nutrients is a brilliant idea.
For, there's, the 12 of them are all mineral names. But like for kids that are going through growth spurts, there's a calcium one that helps with that. Or if you're struggling with tooth enamel, you can take a different one for that. Or if there's skin eruptions or skin issues, you can take that. For hair, skin and nails, there's a silica one. And, so there's
Thousands?
No, there's just 12. There's
I'm
just
sorry.
12 different ones. Homeopathy, the homeopathic formulas, there's probably not 1,000, but there are a lot.
And the
'cause I have a
philosophy
kit
of
that.
homeopathy, how is that different than the philosophy of traditional pharmaceuticals?
Pharmaceuticals?
Traditional drugs that I would have to go to the drugstore for
Okay.
are different than homeopathic things because I can get homeopathic things on my own at the health food store.
Correct. In this country, in Germany, they are sold as a pharmaceutical.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. But so it's like causes like.
Yes.
So in the homeopathic model, if a plant causes a disease or an effect, if you have that disease, by taking a super diluted amount of
Microdose of
micro. This is more micro than GLP-1s for sure.
Yeah.
And they potentize it down is how they refer to it. And they give you that, and that can heal the disease that you're
it stimulates the body's ability to recover.
at a cellular level.
Yep.
Just like the cell salts do. It's
All healing occurs at a cellular level, by the way.
Yeah, but it's not overriding. Like where pharmaceuticals are going to come in there and push
they're
everything.
designed to override
push,
the
push.
system.
Yeah.
Your other things, nutrients and homeopathic things, are going to be engineered working more with the system.
Correct.
Upregulating versus overriding is probably a nice way to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is how I see the GLP-1s in most of the peptides that we work with. It's the same sort of thing. It's a signaling molecule that goes in and helps the body do the right thing with the information.
Is it one size fits all?
No.
Everything needs to be
Everything
tailored
needs
to the
be
person.
tailored. Whether it's homeopathy, cell salts,
100%.
peptides,
Spinal care, same
NAD
thing.
plus, whatever
No
that
two are
is.
the same.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a tailored idea.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's why so many things in traditional healthcare miss the mark. Or that's why they'll say, well, these side effects are including blah, 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 blah. Well, because people aren't the same. Right. So the closer you can tailor what you're doing to what you need, the less ricochets you can create. It's kind of smart, really.
It's so smart. It's so smart.
So energetically, how are you feeling compared after your recent birthday compared to the one you had 6 or 8 or 10 years ago?
I feel happy in my aging process. I really do. 10 years ago, it's like, if I have to keep going in this direction, it just felt like a really bad trajectory.
Right.
I felt like each year was getting worse and worse. And now I feel like each year is getting better and better.
Right. And that's called normal aging.
Normal aging, healthy aging,
Healthy aging.
pro-aging.
Healthy choices create a healthier outcome. I think this was helpful.
Yeah.
Over the course of, and we'll do, maybe in our next episode, we'll talk more about not just the chemistry, but maybe the physical activity of.
Yeah.
Here's how we age
I love
better.
that. Yes, because there are fitness things that we
Right.
can do to help support all of these things that we just talked about. And also, you know, if you need somebody to help you guide through this, I do have a Radiant Wellness program, you know, where people can tap in
And you start from where you're at, not where you wish
start
you were.
where you're at. And it's just a quick discovery call. It's 15 minutes if you want to jump on, and we just
What's
go
the
over.
price?
Well, it's
Do
a
you charge?
complimentary wellness
That's what I
consultation.
thought you said.
Yep.
So people can connect and they can get some coaching if they desire.
Not really coaching. I just want to talk about them.
Okay.
I think that women especially need to have a voice in their own health and wellness, and they aren't always allowed to speak freely.
It's always fascinating to me that men manage women's health.
Exactly.
Like, why would a dude be a gynecologist?
I know.
Like, I don't get it.
I know, but that's okay.
I'm sure they're doing good work.
But I would say that I have about 10% male clients and 90% women clients, and it's because I can relate to women
Me too.
clients. Is that about the same way?
Yeah.
90% of your patients are women? It probably is that. Is it 75-25? I was thinking 75-25.
Well, for one thing, women care more about their health and well-being, and men are just going to go
think
lick their
that's it.
wounds and hide in the cave until it's all better. But yeah, I would say our practice is probably 60-40.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little more, because the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
Yeah.
So when mom gets back in the game, what you'll find is a more cohesive family unit, a better spousal relationship. So yeah, our practice is probably not 50-50. It's going to be tipped toward gals who take better care of themselves as time goes by.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let people know, because sometimes you need just a little guidance at the onset and get you going in the right direction.
Otherwise,
So,
what should we have them do?
Yeah, like, subscribe, follow, and comment.
forward to
Especially if
seeing
you've
you.
been to Val's. I want to know what your favorite thing is there.
Okay.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Have a great day.